The illusion of understanding. Most people believe they understand something the moment they can name it. They hear gravity, inflation, or psychology, and their brain checks a box, understood, without ever testing whether they could actually explain it, use it, or rebuild it from scratch. This is the single most dangerous trap in human thinking. Naming a thing is not the same as knowing it. You can memorize the word photosynthesis your entire life and still not understand how a leaf turns light into food. Schools reward this illusion constantly. Students learn to repeat definitions, pass exams, and receive grades, but the moment you ask them to apply that knowledge in an unfamiliar situation, the illusion collapses. Real understanding means you can rebuild an idea from nothing, explain it to a child, and notice exactly where your knowledge runs out. Most people never test their own understanding because testing it feels uncomfortable. It exposes gaps, and gaps feel like failure. But gaps are not failure. Gaps are the starting point of real learning. The tragedy is that most people spend their whole lives collecting labels instead of collecting understanding, walking around confident in a knowledge they never actually built. They mistake familiarity for comprehension and comprehension for mastery, and by the time they realize the difference, they've already made major life decisions based on ideas they never truly held in their own hands. Fear of looking stupid. The fastest way to guarantee a lifetime of confused thinking is to care more about appearing smart than about being right. Most people stay silent in classrooms, meetings, and conversations, not because they understand, but because they're terrified that asking a question will expose them. So they nod along, they laugh at jokes they don't fully get, they agree with opinions they haven't examined. This single habit, repeated thousands of times across a lifetime, quietly destroys a person's ability to think clearly, because clear thinking requires the willingness to say, "I don't understand this" out loud, in front of others, without shame. Confusion is not weakness. It is the raw material of discovery. Every scientific breakthrough in history began with someone admitting, "I don't know why this happens." But most people treat confusion like an infection to be hidden rather than a signal to be followed. Children ask why constantly. Why is the sky blue? Why do we sleep? Why does ice float? And adults over time train that instinct out of them. By adulthood, most people have replaced curiosity with performance. They'd rather sound confident and be wrong than sound uncertain and eventually be right. This is why brilliant ideas often come from people who don't care what the room thinks of them, because they've stopped performing intelligence and started pursuing truth, even when it makes them look foolish along the way. Memorizing instead of rebuilding. There is a very simple test that exposes almost everyone's fake knowledge. Ask them to explain something without using the technical words they memorized. Ask someone who says they understand magnets to explain, in plain language, why two magnets push each other apart without touching. Most people freeze immediately because what they actually learned was a sequence of words, not a working model of reality. Real thinking means constantly translating complicated ideas into simple ones, and if you can't simplify it, you don't actually own it. Most education systems accidentally train people to become excellent memorizers and terrible thinkers because memorization is easy to test and understanding is hard to test. So students learn to trade one word for another, force equals mass times acceleration, without ever picturing what that sentence actually means in the physical world. This creates millions of people who can pass exams brilliantly but cannot solve a single real problem that doesn't match the exact format they memorized. The moment reality throws them something slightly different from the textbook example, they collapse because their knowledge was never built from first principles. It was borrowed, not owned. Thinking clearly means constantly asking yourself, could I explain this from the ground up, with no jargon, to someone who knows nothing? If the answer is no, you don't understand it yet. You've only memorized its shadow. Believing what feels good instead of what's true. The human brain does not naturally search for truth. It searches for comfort. Given a choice between an idea that feels good and one that is actually correct, most people will unconsciously choose comfort every single time and then defend that choice as if it were pure logic. This is why people cling to opinions, superstitions, and predictions that have been proven wrong again and again, because abandoning the belief feels more painful than being wrong. Clear thinking demands something deeply unnatural, the willingness to be your own harshest critic, to actively hunt for the flaws in your own favorite ideas before someone else does. Most people do the opposite. They defend their existing beliefs like property, collecting evidence that supports what they already think and ignoring or explaining away everything that contradicts it. This is why two people can look at identical facts and walk away, holding completely opposite, unshaken conclusions. The mind is not a courtroom searching for truth. It is a lawyer searching for a winning argument for a client it has already decided is right. Breaking this pattern requires brutal honesty with yourself, regularly asking, what would prove me wrong? And then actually going looking for it. Almost nobody does this because it feels like attacking yourself. But this single habit, actively trying to disprove your own beliefs, is the closest thing to a superpower that clear thinking offers. Rushing past confusion instead of sitting in it. Modern life has trained people to expect instant answers, and this has quietly destroyed their capacity for deep thought. The moment a question gets slightly difficult, most people reach for a quick answer from a search engine, an opinion, an authority, rather than sitting in the discomfort of not knowing and working through it themselves. But every major insight in history was born from someone willing to stay confused far longer than everyone else could tolerate. Confusion is not a problem to escape quickly. It is a space where real thinking happens. When you rush past it, you grab the first shallow explanation available and mistake it for understanding. Patience with not knowing is one of the rarest qualities in the world, because our culture treats uncertainty as weakness and quick answers as intelligence. This is backward. The people who think most clearly are usually comfortable saying, "I don't know yet, give me time," while everyone else around them scrambles to fill the silence with something, anything, that sounds confident. Clear thinkers treat a hard problem the way a patient craftsman treats raw material, slowly, carefully, willing to make mistakes and start over. Most people treat it like a fire alarm, something to be shut off as fast as possible. And so they gain speed, but they lose depth, filling their minds with fast, shallow answers instead of slow, solid understanding. Worshipping authority instead of testing ideas, most people decide whether something is true based on who said it, not on whether it actually holds up. If a person in a lab coat, a uniform, or an expensive suit says something, it gets treated as fact. If an ordinary person says the exact same thing, it gets dismissed. This habit, judging ideas by their source instead of their substance, is one of the most reliable ways to guarantee a lifetime of muddled thinking. True clarity requires treating every claim, regardless of who makes it, the exact same way. Does it match reality when tested? Titles, credentials, and confidence are not proof. History is full of respected experts who were completely wrong and unknown outsiders who were completely right, simply because they tested the idea instead of trusting the title. Most people never develop this habit because questioning authority feels disrespectful, even rebellious. But real respect for truth means being willing to respectfully doubt anyone, a teacher, a doctor, a leader, even yourself, until the evidence proves the point, not the position. This doesn't mean dismissing expertise. It means never accepting it blindly. The clearest thinkers in history were often troublemakers in their own time, precisely because they refused to accept an answer simply because someone important told them to. Until people learn to separate the messenger from the message, they will keep mistaking authority for accuracy, and clarity will always stay just out of reach. What if I told you that almost everyone walking around right now, smart people, educated people, people with degrees hanging on their walls, doesn't actually understand most of what they claim to understand? Not because they're stupid, because they never learned how to think. They learned how to remember. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Knowing the name of something is not the same as understanding it. You can know that a bird is called a sparrow in every language on earth and still know absolutely nothing about the bird, what it eats, how it flies, why it exists. Most people spend their entire lives collecting names for things and calling it knowledge. It isn't. It's just vocabulary dressed up as wisdom. I want you to try something. Pick anything you think you understand really well. Now explain it out loud in the simplest words possible, like you're talking to a child who's never heard of it. No fancy terms allowed. Just try it. Most people, when they attempt this, freeze halfway through. And that freeze, that uncomfortable silence, is the moment they discover they never actually understood the thing at all. They just memorized a story about it. And here's why this happens to almost everyone. Because admitting confusion feels like admitting weakness. So instead of saying, "I don't understand this," people nod. They smile. They pretend. In classrooms, in meetings, in conversations at dinner tables, millions of people every single day choose to look smart instead of choosing to become smart. And the tragedy is, those are opposites. You cannot do both at the same time. Confusion is not your enemy. Confusion is the doorway. Every real discovery in the history of thought started with someone standing in front of confusion and refusing to run from it. While everyone else rushed to grab the nearest quick answer, that person sat still and said, "I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out." That patience, that willingness to remain in discomfort a little longer than everyone else can tolerate, is the rarest skill a human being can develop. And then there's the trap of belief. Your brain isn't built to find truth, it's built to find comfort. Give it a choice between an idea that feels good and an idea that's actually correct, and 9 times out of 10, it will quietly pick comfort and then convince you it was logic all along. Real thinking means turning that instinct upside down. It means becoming your own toughest critic. It means constantly asking, what would prove me wrong? And then actually going to look for it, instead of only searching for reasons you're right. And perhaps the most dangerous habit of all, we decide what's true based on who says it, instead of testing it ourselves. A title, a uniform, a confident voice. These things convince us faster than evidence ever could. But titles have been wrong before. Confidence has been wrong before. The only thing that isn't wrong is reality itself, and reality doesn't care about anybody's reputation. So what does clear thinking actually require? It requires you to say, "I don't know," without shame. It requires you to rebuild ideas from the ground up instead of borrowing someone else's version of them. It requires patience with confusion instead of panic. It requires doubting yourself before you doubt anyone else. And it requires testing every idea against reality, no matter whose mouth it came out of. This is not natural. This is not easy. But it is available to absolutely anyone willing to trade the comfort of feeling smart for the harder, richer reward of actually becoming clear. Most people never think clearly, not because their minds are weak, but because their minds were never trained to sit with confusion, question authority, rebuild ideas from scratch, or admit what they don't know. Clear thinking isn't a gift given to a lucky few. It's a discipline available to anyone willing to trade the comfort of looking smart for the harder work of becoming clear. The moment you start asking why like a child again, refusing to accept an answer just because it sounds confident, and testing your own beliefs instead of defending them, that's the moment real thinking begins. It's uncomfortable, it's slow, but it's the only path that leads to truth instead of the illusion of it. What if everything you think you understand, you actually don't? What if the confidence in your voice, the nodding in meetings, the definitions you memorized in school, what if all of it was just a costume, dressed up to look like knowledge? What if the smartest people you know aren't the ones with the most answers, but the ones brave enough to say, "I don't know," out loud in front of everyone without flinching? What if confusion, the very thing you've spent your whole life running from, is actually the doorway to everything you've ever wanted to understand? What if the reason you feel stuck isn't because you're not smart enough, but because you were trained to fear the one thing that could set you free, admitting you don't know? Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what you're about to hear could change the way you think for the rest of your life.